Hi, welcome to Juice Bar. Today we're gonna mix a white Negroni. So today we're gonna mix a white Negroni and we're gonna mix my recipe of it. Let's get started. Of course, a white Negroni is nothing else than a Negroni where we have all components transparent or white. And let's start from our choice of bitter. Of course, to make a white Negroni, we have to find an alternative to a Campari, which would be bright red. And I visited the Luxardo store in their distillery town in Veneto, Italy, this summer, and in that occasion I bought this bottle of Luxardo Bitter Bianco, which is freaking delicious. Normally you will see most recipe of white Negroni featuring a Suze, the French aperitif with gentian root. I never tried that. I read online that it's not that great, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this Luxardo white bitter is extremely good. It's less spicy than a Campari, but has a pleasant bitterness brought by bitter oranges. And so we're gonna start with 37.5 milliliters of this. Normally a Negroni would have equal parts, but I change a tiny bit the amounts to match the ingredients I'm gonna use today. Second, we are gonna use, instead of white or dry vermouth, I'm gonna use some sherry, some white sherry. Palomino Fino is the Pepe, the most popular sherry probably in the world. You can find it even in normal supermarkets. And sherry is weird, man. I'm not quite used to it, but just developing this recipe I found out that my white vermouth I usually use, the Carbonara Dry or the Cocchi Americano, didn't quite match well this recipe. So I bought this bottle of Pepe and I was right. This one matches better. I don't know if it's because the level of dryness or the added funkiness of this Pepe helps out. But anyway, let's go on with 22.5 milliliters of this. So we have a bit more of our bitter at 37.5 milliliters, which by the way is 25% ABV, and a bit less of white wine. By the way, this sherry comes at 15%. Of course, sherry is a fortified wine from Jerez de la Frontera in Spain. And then we're gonna conclude with some London dry gin. In this case I'm gonna use this Opihr, which is a London dry gin which has added spices from the Orient, and mainly I will say cardamom and cumin. I'm not an expert on these spices, but I will think something like that. This is a really good gin, and I'm gonna use just 30 milliliters of it, standard amount. This is gonna help us adding a bit of the spiciness that our Luxardo white bitter lacks compared to a normal Campari. And we are done. Let's get a good block of ice. I cut up a big block of ice a few days ago, and I think this one fits just right. Let's give this a stir.
The white stuff.
I really have nothing to talk about today about the white Negroni. Reminds me of that line in Pulp Fiction about uncomfortable silences. When you find somebody with which you can share an uncomfortable silence, you can be sure you found somebody special. Of course, this is the scene with Mia, Uma Thurman, and Vincent Vega, John Travolta. And I actually quoted this scene to a lady once, and She said, okay, that's bullshit. I think we achieved the good chilliness and dilution in the middle. Now, we could finish this with some orange peel, like a normal Negroni, but I don't know why I think a lemon peel is gonna match better. Let's get some lemon peel going. And let's squeeze it. Let's slide it there to the side, and we are done. A white Negroni, my recipe. A bit different from the standard white Negroni you will see most of the time online, but let me have a sip. Cheers. I think this is really good, it's well balanced. You have the bitterness from the oranges and from the Bitter Bianco. You have some other complexity from the sherry, some deeper flavors, and the finish is dominated by the spiciness of this Opihr. All the flavors mix up quite well, and I found it to be really pleasant. I love this Luxardo Bitter Bianco. I will use it in so many more drinks. It's just so precious because I had to bring this bottle all the way from Italy and it's not imported here in Japan. The hardest part in this drink was finding a dry vermouth or sherry or other fortified white wine that will match well with the other ingredients. Normally a Negroni has a sweet vermouth. In this case I had a less spicy bitter, but I found that the Carpano Dry was too dry and the Cocchi Americano was too flavorful. Luckily this sherry just fit in between flavor wise, and I think it matches really well with this drink. You should try this, it's really good. Hopefully you can find this Bitter Bianco. About the alternative of the Suze, I don't know, I never tried the Suze. I plan on trying it one day. Actually it's way cheaper and readily available than this Luxardo one, but anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, share with everybody you like, steal yourself a drink, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers. As I mentioned, I'm a complete novice to the world of sherry. This is my first bottle of sherry, and I plan on trying a lot more in the future. Of course, it goes from super dry like this one to really sweet like the Pedro Jimenez, and there are all kind of grades in the middle, one of which is the Amontillado, which was the one in the really creepy Edgar Allan Poe story, the Cask of Amontillado, which I'm not gonna discuss in details because I don't want to spoil it to you. It's like 150-year-old story, but you should go and read it for yourself. Even though it was really weird, more than scary, it's a really creepy short story that ends abruptly, and it's freaking weird, man. I don't even know why it's famous. I think it's famous probably because when it got published, people were like, what the fuck? What's this story about? Italy, Amontillado cask, what the fuck? Carnival, it was in Carnival, I think. It takes place in Carnival. Never drank an Amontillado, gotta try that too. Hopefully not down in a crypt.